Penaloza. Welcome back to OV Boss Babes.
Thanks so much for having me again, Holly.
Oh, Amy, I remember when I first reached out to you and I was so excited and there was no hesitation from you whatsoever. You're like, let's do it.
Let's do it.
And nothing is ever off the table with you.
No, ask me whatever you want.
Which I love.
Honest answers always.
That's right. Well, Amy, let's go back in the archives. Like, we are going to go way, way back, okay? So way before Racked, way before all your time in retail. And let's revisit your career history because you have an extensive background working for an airline company at the Ottawa Airport. So share with me and my listeners again about how and why you initially went into retail, but then made the switch to work at the airport and then ultimately returning to retail again.
I know, back and forth.
Yeah.
Forth. You go back to what you love. That's what it comes down to. Yeah, I started in retail, working in a good old retail center when I was like 19, 20 years old, just after I had my first child, and working 40 hours a week, working. And then I decided I didn't want to do it anymore. I was working holidays, especially working at retail center, you're open all the time. So I just decided I didn't want to do that anymore. So I decided to go into the airline business.
Mm-hmm.
So I started working for First Air, a Northern airline. It's not called that anymore, but it was called First Air back in the day. And I was checking you in. I'm checking in the people that are, first of all, going off. When I first got the job, it was for their South people. So when you're going to Cuba and you're going to Mexico, it was the other airlines hired out First Air to do their flights. Anyway, long story. But I was working at 3 o'clock in the morning. I was taking the OC Transpo bus from when I used to live near Bayshore all the way to the Ottawa Airport, doing my shifts at the airport, and I was done by 7 in the morning and coming home. So kind of working nights.
Mm-hmm.
Working nights, working for the airport. I did that for a couple of years. And then I became a trainer for the airline. So I was up, then I was going up north. Then I was going to Iqaluit and Resolute Bay and Arctic Bay, and so much fun I had working up north. And the northern people are just the most fantastic people on the planet. But a great time working out there. So I did that for about 5-6 years until I got pregnant with Christian. And then I realized I didn't really want to do that anymore. I didn't want to be gone for that long. So I came back and decided to go back into work into retail.
So why the airlines though, Amy? Like, how did you make that switch? Or was it just a job that became available that you're like, yeah, I can probably do that?
Yeah, it was a job that became available. I was tired of working the retail hours. And my sister actually knew a director that worked for the airline. And my sister asked the director, you guys hiring? She goes, oh, well, we're hiring for our winter staff. I'll have her apply. So I applied and I got it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just it's still in customer service. I still wanted to do stuff with people. And it was fun. I had worked with a great team. And it was fun to send people off to Cuba. And they're going on holidays. So it was super fun to see them and send them off on their good times. And then I just decided that I didn't want to do it anymore. But I did it for a long time.
Yeah.
And it was fun.
Now, did you have any career or education background in anything? Like, did you go to school, like, to pursue secondary? No.
It's just my shiny personality, Holly. It's just the personality. Well, you have to know that, right?
Absolutely, you do.
You're in customer service. You're in any kind of service industry. It's good to have a good personality.
That's right. So that'll get you far.
Well, it did. It got me a lot of places.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of places, being able to talk to people, not being afraid of talking to people.
Yep.
So that's how that worked out.
So what was it about retail that drew you back in?
I just loved it. I've always liked to shop. Secondhand shops. My parents taught me really well doing that stuff when I was younger. I like to shop. I like to see women feel good about themselves. So I just liked it. I liked being in the zone of making people happy,
mm-hmm.
and having people come in not having a great day, and then when they left, they have a great day. Having a good time, just buying a simple sweater makes the whole difference in their life. So it was just fun for me. It was a fun thing to be a part of, and was working downtown and being in the atmosphere, and then going out to the restaurants and doing all the things. So it was definitely a fun time.
Yeah. It takes a special person, I think, to work in retail. Like, I mean, I know that anybody can work in retail, but it really takes a special person to have that customer service-based personality where they genuinely want you to find that great form-fitting sweater.
Exactly.
Or make that experience fun, because so many people, especially women, you go in, you don't want to try on clothes. I know I'm like that. That's the last thing I want to do, is be trying on clothes and being under those lights and feeling like, oh gosh, like, do I really look like that?
Yeah.
Have I really gained that much weight?
Oh,
you know?
Yeah.
But not only just to find somebody that's like going to find you the next size up or the next size down, but to have somebody that's like genuinely invested in you and want to know a bit more about you and your family, and to have like that relationship with. And so I feel like you learned that so early on in your lifetime.
You got to make a connection with people.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't make a connection, you're not going to make the sale.
Yeah,
Gotta
it's true.
it's
It's
a
true.
Story.
So Amy, you had kind of mentioned that you were quite young when you had your first. You were only 20 years old.
Sure.
And that was your son. And then later in life, you had your other two kids at 36 and 40 years old. Now, we didn't really get touching on this last time, but I want to ask with you how your experience was with your oldest and how you found your village at such a young age to help raise them. Because right now, I'm finding myself a single mom to 3, and I have found my village. But I don't know if I would have been able to ask for the help and been able to have that support when I was 20.
Yeah. Well, I didn't when I was young. When I had Kane, it was the light of my life, by the way. When I had Kane, it was my family, right? Like, you're 20 years old. I had one really, really, really best friend, Tanya, who was my best friend, still is my best friend to this day, who helped me a lot. She would come and help me when I was tired and I didn't want to do anything, and she'd come and help me and watch Kane. But I lived at home with my parents. My parents were my village. They helped me raise him. They really did, even to this day. And then his dad was really great, and his dad's parents were great. So it was definitely a family. That was the difference. And then obviously my family now is still great. Everyone was still wonderful when I had Christian and Elora. But the difference was it was strictly family, because I was only 20 years old. You think you know everything, but I knew like nothing. Having a baby, like, right? Like, now that's not even that young, but back then it was young.
Yeah.
And if you know me and you see me, back then I did look a lot younger than 20 years old. I'm only like 4'11", so people thought I was like 13 having a kid. So it was hard. I'll tell you, it was definitely hard on me, hard on my mom, because my mom was the one who had the daughter who was having a baby at the age of 20.
Yeah.
So it was a hard time, but we did it. My mom helped me a lot. Like, my mom was the one, still does help me a lot, but my mom was the one who was there. And then when I was 40 having Elora, then it was all my girlfriends. It was just the girlfriends. It was the Early On Center in Arnprior. That was like the saving grace. I tell everybody I can about Early On. Karina and Jess have seen me cry more than I think my mom has seen me cry. And like, it's just the most amazing. That was my village.
Yeah.
And that's where I met all my friends. I met all these moms who were also going through, I was obviously the oldest mom because I was 40 having a baby, but that's where I met all my girlfriends who are still my great girlfriends now. So it's a matter of having the right people around you. You really need to have a good circle around you. And some people don't. And that's the hard reality of life, that some ladies don't have a village. But this is why these places like the Early On Center exist. Yeah. So you can go and you can find it.
No, it's interesting, Amy, when you say, like, at 20 years old, like, it really isn't that young. And to put it a little bit more just into perspective, it's not young when you have a partner.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, if you're in your early 20s,
absolutely,
because you're a young family starting up, that's normal. That's normal in a rural community. However, when you're a single mom, that's young. And oh my gosh, what are you going to do? And I love that you touched on, like, your parents and that perception. Oh, Amy's parents, like, oh yeah, that's the one with the daughter. I remember going to church, and I remember, the whispers in the pews of the one mom in there that was, she was pregnant. She got knocked up. And I just, now that I'm a single mom, I really want to change the single mom narrative and stop the whispers and actually, like, start applauding women who are doing it on their own, because you know what? Those are fucking hardworking moms.
Absolutely.
And they are probably the most hardworking moms out there, because I can say that because I'm like, that is my narrative right now.
You're living it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it is hard.
And it's the hardest thing you're ever going to fucking do.
Absolutely.
The hardest thing you're going to do is be a mom, let alone be a mom with a partner. But being a mom without a partner is extremely hard. But like you said, you've got your family, you've got your village, and you just do it. You live for those 3 little faces that look at you every day, and you just got to keep going.
But how do you do it, though, when you have that stereotype, you have that shame, you have that embarrassment, and you have, like, your mom and dad kind of being like, I don't really want people to know, like, and I remember even going into that too. It's like, it's such a taboo topic still to this day about, heaven forbid, someone becomes like a single mom. Or young, doesn't matter.
Why doesn't it?
Well, divorce, nobody talks about, and it's like, oh, it's just, but I can't imagine, Amy, like, how you navigated that. Like, what was your mindset with that? And how were your parents? Like, yes, they were supportive, but for those initial first months of your pregnancy and then thereafter.
Yeah, it was scary. I'll tell you that. It was very, my mom was like, is my best friend. So my mom knew from the beginning what was going on. I was terrified to tell my dad. Was terrified to tell my aunts and uncles and cousins. It's a scary thing to have to tell people. Yeah. But I mean, I kind of really didn't give a fuck what people were going to say about it, because I was going to do it. I was 20 years old. I was going to have this baby by myself. I was going to do it. His dad was involved at the time, but we just weren't together. Right. But I was like, I'm just going to do this. This is what's meant to happen in my life. I am meant to have this baby, and I'm just going to do it. And I really don't care what people are going to say. I still have that.
Yeah.
I just don't care what people are going to say about me. I'm just going to do it.
Yeah. Now, roles reversed. You're having, you had Christian and Alora later in life. And of course, I have to bring this topic up too, Amy, because just like people talk, when you have kids when you're young, we've seen, the shame around when Demi Moore, said that she was pregnant, right? And all the stars and stuff. So, I mean, roles reversed. But who the fuck cares? Because you can have kids whenever the fuck you want.
Exactly.
And women's bodies are amazing.
Exactly.
Whose business is it?
Yeah.
But did you have people saying things? Did you have people making
I didn't
comments?
really. No, I didn't really.
Good.
I struggled a lot with infertility. We've talked about this before. It took me a long time to get pregnant with Christian. We had an inexplainable infertility, so we had no reason to why it wasn't happening, which is also like a really shitty thing because like just give me a reason to why it's not happening and we're going to try and fix it. But we had an inexplainable infertility. For 10 years we tried to have Christian and it just wasn't happening. And
10 years.
10 years we tried.
That's hard.
We went to the fertility clinics and then basically our next step was going to be to do IVF. And at that point I was like, you know what? I just want to stop. This is just too much right now. I need to just stop. Let's just give it a year and just stop counting my days. Stop thinking about this. Stop thinking about what can I do? Let's have sex this way and have sex that way to make it go faster or make it work. But I just had to stop. We stopped and good friends of ours got married in Jamaica and we went to their wedding in Jamaica and I came home pregnant with Christian.
Isn't that always how it goes, right?
That's it. You just have to relax. And like you think you're relaxed and you're not relaxed, but we were in Jamaica, so we were very relaxed.
Yeah.
It was a really good time. So we came home pregnant with Christian. Everything was fantastic with the pregnancy. I had the greatest pregnancy, like Christian, because he was like my miracle baby, right? Like this is never gonna happen again. This is gonna be it. So we had a great pregnancy. Everything was super great with delivery. We had a C-section, which wasn't the greatest thing to come out of it, but that's what happened. And he was wonderful. And then with Laura, we again struggled right after having Christian. We wanted to have another baby. I was like, you know what? I'm giving you till I'm 40, and we're going to keep trying. And then at that point, I was able to get pregnant, but I wasn't able to stay pregnant.
Right.
So I had 6 miscarriages between Christian and Laura. 6. Very early on ones.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. But the longest one I had, I think I was 12 weeks. And that one was really hard because that was the one that I thought was gonna be it. So I'd said to my husband after that when I said, that's it, I'm done. I'm going to be 40 next year. Like I can't do this anymore. If you're struggling with it, the pain of having a baby and not. And then anyway, it's a hard thing to do. And then the next month I got pregnant again. And out comes Laura. So she's really my miracle baby because she was the one that after all these miscarriages and then after that one, I'm like, you know what? I'm not fucking doing this to myself anymore. It's too hard and I can't do it. It happened. And there she is.
Wow.
Here she is, my little Spitfire.
Yes.
The only girl in the family. So my mom was ecstatic. My mom cried her eyes out when I told her it was a girl. So we've got our perfect little family now. Good. And I mean, my kids are old. I mean, Kane's 30 now. Christian just turned 13 and Laura is going to be 9 in January.
Yeah.
And it's like they're all different ages, but they're all still really close. Yeah. Like Kane is he doesn't live with me anymore, but I mean, he's still really close to his siblings and we see each other as much as we can and we hang out all together. So it's still, it was really rough. Like when I think back about it, being young and pregnant was tough. Being 36 and pregnant was wonderful. And then being 40 and pregnant was not so great.
Yeah.
My body was old. So at first it was great, but the last 20 weeks was really hard on my body.
It takes a lot out of it.
It was a hard thing. Yeah.
Especially as you get older too and you have kids and stuff. Like, it's hard, I think, regardless of what age you are. But I mean, like, it takes a toll on you and you need your sleep a little bit more than you did, when you're in your 20s. And
exactly. Well, your body doesn't bounce back as nice as it did when I was 20.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it worked out the way it was supposed to work out. And I have the 3 beautiful babies that I have and couldn't be happier.
I love that. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. And
it's a thing that people need to talk about.
They do.
And I found a great village online. When I was struggling with this, none of my friends were going through it. They were all just popping out babies. Yeah. My sister was having babies. Everyone's having babies and going to these baby showers inside, bawling and being so sad, but also wanting to be happy for my friends. Mm-hmm. But it's so hard because why can't it happen for me? Right? Like I know you struggle with it as well. So you understand. It's a shitty thing to go through, but
you don't understand it though until you do go through it. And you don't actually even start realizing, I think, about others around you. Like I'll never forget when I went to my girlfriend's baby shower back in April and there were 3 of us at the table that were all pregnant. And everybody was contributing to the conversation. Everybody was chatting and asking, when everybody's due dates are and future plans, like the conversations that you have.
Right.
And then you look over at my one girlfriend, Allie, and you notice that she's not contributing to the conversation. You know that she's not getting all excited. So I knew at that point we should probably change the conversation and maybe talk about something else. Yeah. And after I pulled her aside and said, "Are you doing okay?"
Yeah.
Because I figured that she was struggling with her husband, and then it turns out that they are struggling.
Well, it's what's 1 in 5.
Yeah.
1 in 5 women struggle.
Yes. And, nothing is worse than being that friend who is sitting at a baby shower with others around you, or sitting on social media, seeing yet another person do their pregnancy announcement. Mm-hmm. It fucking hurts. Yeah, it does. And it's not fair.
You're happy for them, and you are happy for them, but you're also like, yeah, what am I doing that this is not working for me? Like, what is wrong with me that this isn't happening for me? Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's a really shitty thing.
Yeah. So for our listeners and those watching, know that you're not alone. Like, know that Amy and I have struggled through it. There are so many others out there. Reach out if you want to talk to us. Like,
totally.
We can relate.
We're there. We have a lot of friends in common that have had this.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of our close girlfriends that are going through this, but they're all pregnant now, or have all just had babies.
I know.
So I don't want to say it happens to everybody, because it doesn't. And some people are unlucky and it just doesn't happen for them. But it just, we understand the pain. We really do. And it's really, really, really terrible.
The reason why I work with Amanda Walker.
Working with Amanda, absolute delight working with her. She's a ray of sunshine.
We love working with Amanda. I really love how she's able to engage the staff. They love working with her.
Very knowledgeable in social media, and she's really, really fun and easy to work with.
Stressful to be in front of the camera for some people, and because he is comforting, Amanda is able to get my staff involved.
It frees up a lot of my time that I don't really have to do that part of the job.
I have more followers than ever, and my engagement is the best that it's ever been.
It's your insurance bestie, Jennifer Shalabah coming to you live from downtown Arnprior. Look, at JCR Insurance, we want to keep things simple. Let us handle all of the insurance jargon, and let us make sure that you're properly protected so that you can handle whatever life throws at you. Life insurance and financial literacy does not need to be a snooze fest. We're here to keep it simple with a wide range of solutions to suit your unique needs. Whether you're looking for life, business, home, or auto insurance, Jay's got you covered. The team and I are committed to dissecting your policies with you. Help it make sense. Make sure that you understand what you have, what you need, but more importantly, be confident and have the peace of mind that you're properly protected. We are so privileged to serve the Ottawa Valley. If you're looking for a second opinion, if you want to get connected and chat all insurance stuff, give us a call, visit us on our website, or follow us on social media at jcrinsurance.ca.
Now, Amy, shifting gears and getting back to our conversation about your career, like I was saying, you worked in retail for many, many years. So what was that experience like for you? And when did you start feeling that pull that you were meant to work for yourself, and not just in retail, but consignment? Why did you want to go down that path instead?
I've always loved consignment shopping. I've always loved secondhand shopping. I've always enjoyed clothing that tells a story is how I used to look at it. I used to go to the sell-ins, and back when Value Village was a cool place to go to, I used to go there and I used to buy these cool jeans. I'm like, you know what? I bet this girl wore these concerts. This person had a great time in these clothes. Just I liked that vibe of it. Yeah. I liked not having the same thing on that everybody else has on at the party. That's always like a women's worst fear, showing up to a party wearing the same dress as everybody else's. And I know that when I'm shopping secondhand, that's not going to happen. So I worked in retail, I worked in town, and I had a great time working there. I worked at Dash Fab with Kaylee, and it was a super fun time. And then even just then, I wanted something more. I wanted to be able to give women somewhere to go that wasn't going to cost a lot of money. Mm-hmm. Now, in saying that, I run a consignment shop, so some things are expensive in my store, but there's a lot of things that aren't. There's a lot of, like, you can buy a Michael Kors bag for $75 as opposed to spending $400 on them for retail. So, but I wanted everybody to feel comfortable in my shop. That was something that I knew. I knew that when I walk into a retail store, I know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for someone to acknowledge me. I'm looking for a fun atmosphere. And I wanted to provide that for people. And I just felt that this was the time in my life to just do it. I think it was COVID. We were just getting over COVID. It was like, I had just stopped drinking. I'm like, you know what? I need to do something that's going to keep my mind busy. So let's just open a consignment shop. Yeah. And it wasn't like I didn't sit here and have a year-long plan of how this was going to happen. I just did it. Yeah. I just said, you know what? I'm going to open something on Facebook. People like my clothes, so I'm going to start selling my own clothes. So I had a Facebook group called Amy's Closet, and I'd post all my clothes, and my girlfriends would buy my clothes. I'm like, what am I doing? Mm-hmm. I need to make this bigger and better. So my girlfriend Jen, during COVID, I'm like, Jen, let's do something. Let's get this done. And she was like, you know what? I'm going to be your brains behind this operation. I'm going to help you get this done. Yep. And we did it. We sat at Jen's kitchen table. She made up this fancy spreadsheet. We called it the sexy spreadsheet. And I just posted, hey guys, I'm going to start a consignment shop online. We were just doing it online to start. Bring me some clothes, let's make some money. Yeah. And I got a really good response from it. I had a lot of girlfriends bring me their clothes to sell. So we did this online, and that lasted maybe a month and a half. My girlfriend Jen let me use her bedroom, as you know, and I had all this big operation going on in her house. And I said, you know what, I need a retail shop. Mm-hmm. So I approached the bowling alley before it was the bowling alley. Yes. Well, I mean, it was after the bowling alley. And I approached Brenda, who owned it, and I said, Brenda, the Wags and Whiskers little location that was here has been closed down for so long. Can I do a pop-up there? Can I just rent it for a month just to see if this is going to go anywhere? And I did. And I opened up my first pop-up shop, and it was supposed to be for 3 months. It was supposed to be from July until September. And then at the end of July, I opened up my brand new shop. It just blew up. And it was crazy. People liked me. People knew me from Dash Fab. They knew me from the lives I used to do with Kaylee. They knew that I'm never going to tell them something looks good on it if they don't look good in something. I can sell stuff. I can do it. Yeah. So bring me your stuff and I'm going to sell it. So they did. It's like, Field of Dreams, build it, they will come. So I just did. Yeah. So I built my shop and that was it.
Hashtag trust Amy.
Hashtag trust Amy. And I'll tell you, that's, I created a brand of yourself.
Yes, you did. And I think that is really important to recognize that you did create a brand long before Racked.
Long before.
Because people know you. And they do trust you, Amy, because they've seen you on the socials. They've seen you showing up on the lives. Like, they've known your story, and you've never held back in that regard. No. And I think that is like such an important aspect to building community, is just being authentically you and somebody that is relatable and that people can come to. And I mean, if you can find a great piece of clothing too, like, have at her, like, right at it.
That's the thing. I'm very much, well, you know me personally too, but like, the way I am right now is how I am in normal life. Like, I'm not putting on a show.
Yes.
I'm not pretending to be someone that I'm not. I'm going to tell you the real shit.
Yeah.
Whether you like that or not.
Yes.
Some of you come out and something looks horrible. I'm going to tell you, take that off. It looks horrible.
Yeah.
Let's try this instead. But people want that. Don't you
Yes.
want that? I don't want someone to walk down the street and say, oh, I got this at Wrapped and look like shit. Or the pants are too tight or the pants are too big. I'm going to tell you how I feel. But guess what? That doesn't really matter.
Yep.
You feel great in it. You should buy it.
Mm-hmm.
However you feel is the most important thing. And that's what I try to bring out. And ladies, I hear so many things come out of those change rooms in my shop. Oh, I wish I wore the right bra. Oh, this doesn't fit me here. Oh, I hate my arms. Oh, I hate my legs. Oh, I hate this. And I'm like, we all have parts of our bodies that we don't like, but let's talk about things that we do like about ourselves.
Yes.
And try and think about that. And I'm never going to say, the women don't say that. Women don't say, oh my God, look at that lady's arms.
Yes.
We don't say that.
Yeah.
I don't say that. You don't say that. People don't say that to each other. We don't say, holy shit, she shouldn't be wearing that.
Yeah.
People don't say that.
No, you're right.
You think that people say that, but people don't say that.
Yeah.
So stop thinking that.
It's true.
Thinking that. We want to encourage people to wear things. Like I want people to come into my shop and tell me I would never wear that. Well, guess what? Put it on. And they come out like, holy shit, this looks amazing. I'm like, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me. Just try things on.
Yes.
Try things on out of your box. I've gotten so many ladies out of their box that love it and come to me like, Amy, I can't believe that you told me to try this on. And now it's my favorite cut.
Yes. Well, I remember like when I came in to do the try-ons whenever I was pregnant and everything, and you put me in that smash and test romper that I'm like, the pattern, Amy, I'm not a romper type of person. And I loved it. It was so comfy and it looked great on me. And it like,
She did.
it held my bump and my curves so well. Like it just looks so good.
Yeah, it's so great.
I know.
It's so great. It's a fun feeling. And I mean, I'm like, I just love that. I love when people come in and they try stuff on.
Yeah.
Try on 30 things. If you buy nothing, you buy nothing. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like I want you to buy stuff. Obviously, I'm in a business for a reason, but I want you to feel good.
Yes.
I want you to come and try 10 pairs of jeans on. And if you find one, then great. Sometimes jeans are the worst. God, who likes trying jeans
Yes.
on? You're going to
True.
come in, but the good thing with my shop is that I've got like 10 different brands.
Mhm.
It's not just the one brand that's going to fit the same way. I've got all the sizes from double extra small up to 3X, sometimes even 4X. Just come try some stuff on.
Yeah.
There's no pressure. I'm not going to tell you something looks good just to make a sale
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not going to do that ever.
Now, Amy, I know that there's a lot that goes into building a business, especially a brick and mortar. And not to say that you got lucky, because you did not get lucky, because you put yourself out there. And I always say, if you don't ask, you don't get. And so the fact that, you saw an empty space
Yep.
and you said, hey, no one's renting it. It's just sitting there. Can I just utilize it as a pop-up, see how it goes, and then look at opportunity turn into success?
Exactly. Twice.
Yeah, that's
I've
right.
changed the locations 3
Yes.
times now.
Okay.
When the pop-up was done, Be Savvy was moving out of Be Savvy, and they were going into where Jade and Laney was going because Jade and Laney was moving over here. So there was like a little shift
Yeah.
in shops, and I was like, and I'm good friends with Alicia from Be Savvy. Alicia's like, Amy, we're going to move. Top secret. Don't tell anyone, but talk to the landlord and see if you can get in here. So that's how it worked. And then Alicia actually got me into the location I'm in now as well because she's like, Amy, the art gallery is closing.
Yeah.
Get next to me because we are a tag team, Alicia and I. Like we bounce ideas off each other all the time. Like all the time, messing about hours, about this, about that. So then I got that location that I'm in now, and it's one of the biggest shops in our empire. And it's fantastic.
But that's why it's so important to find your community and talk to other business owners. I always say this, like, just, don't look at it as competition or don't look within your industry. Look outside. Like, go meet
Yeah.
people. Go outside your comfort zones and get to know everybody because you never know who might know something.
You
And
never know. And again,
Yeah.
it's not competition.
that's right.
There's dress shops all over my street,
Mhm.
but I've talked to everybody. I promote everybody.
Yes,
I've
you do.
always done that. Even before I had my own shop, I will promote the small town that I love my small town.
Yeah.
And I want everyone to do well because if Jade and Laney does well, Dash of Fab's going to do well. If the Artful Gallery does well, I'm going to do well. We'll all do well together because we bring the people together.
That's right.
And people, like I've been told from other business owners that are not in our empire how they've never seen businesses like we are in our empire, how we're so supportive of each other and
Yeah.
we do things together and we help rise up.
It's incredible.
But why not?
I've never seen a small town that has rallied together
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
And especially without a BIA.
I know.
That does that. It's all of you guys. And I think that it's really important to note because that's not always recognized. People don't always know that.
No, they don't.
I mean, it's all the business owners together
Yes, yep.
and you guys all come together to host those night markets.
Yeah.
Shout out also to Danielle Delaney, who is
Oh my
like,
God.
I mean,
Oh my God.
I know, don't we all? Don't we all?
Yeah.
But like, just to kind of get everybody involved and get the wheels turning.
Exactly. She is just a customer. I don't say
Yeah.
just, but she's a customer of the town. She is a friend of mine. Our daughters are BFFs, and she wants our town to succeed. So she puts on these things out of her own pocket.
Yes.
She's doing. So I said to her, I told her, like, when you're doing these fall markets, get some sponsorships in here, bro, because you can't do this all by yourself.
I know.
You know, so now we're doing it. We're just doing the Fall Fest is coming up, and I can't wait. October 5th, Saturday.
Yes, I know. I'm going to try to make it. I'm going to try to get a babysitter so I can come that
It's
day.
so much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun. October is going to be a great time. But
Yeah.
we're all friends.
Yeah.
And like, we're genuine with each other. We talk to each other. We ask her, what days are you going to stay open? What are your holiday hours? Because we all want to do the same things. We're all in this to make money, obviously.
Yeah.
We're in this to make money. We're in this to have our community shop in our shops. We don't want you to buy stuff on Amazon. We don't want you to go to the city to buy things. And I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to have to. There's some things you need to go to Bayshore for. There's some things you need to buy on Amazon. We don't have it all. But the fact that we're trying to bring in as much as we can in our small town, just try and shop with us before you.
That's right. And no fast fashion, right, Amy?
No fast fashion.
Ever. Not non-negotiable.
No, non-negotiable. I just, like, I mean, I go back and forth with that because I follow a lot of other consignment shops around the world. And some people take the fast fashion because I feel like I don't want you to then throw it in the garbage, right? But I'll tell people to donate it to the opportunity shop. I just want to have things in my store that are sustainable clothing that are going to last.
Yes.
Not something that was made from Shein or from Temu or crappy shit that's going to get you sick because of the chemicals that are in these fabrics. It's just mind-blowing to me. But I want to be able to wear this Jones New York dress. I want you to have that in your closet for 20 years. And if you buy fast fashion, it's going to rip and it's going to fall apart and it's not going to do anybody any good.
Right.
I want to have brands that people recognize when they come in. I want to be known for a shop that has good shit.
Yes.
And that's what people tell me all the time because I'm unlike other consignment shops because I will take things that have been in your closet for 20 years. I'll take things that have been in your mom's closet, in your grandma's closet. I take a mixture of vintage. I take a mixture of high fashion, things that are in fashion now, but I don't rely on that.
Yeah.
And a lot of other shops like, oh, it's been out of fashion for 2 years. We're not going to take it. And I'm like, well, my fashion is different from your fashion. What you think is fashionable is different from what I do.
Yeah.
So, but I think this is cool. So I'm going to take it. And you know what? I know Liz is going to love this. So I'm going to call up Liz and say, Liz, your favorite consignor just dropped off. Come and see the shit I just got.
Yes.
And I do that for a lot of people. A lot of people, I look at the clothes that come in and I'm like, oh my God, I know Holly's going to look great in this. Oh, Jen's going to look great in that. Or Rochelle's going to love this dress. So it's a business, but it's also like a fun thing for me to curate these closets for people, right? It's super fun.
Now, getting into the financial pieces, Amy, like how do you determine your price points, especially for consignment items? So like you're saying, you know, like if you get a high-end piece, like let's just say you get a Michael Kors dress or you get like a BCBG outfit or something or a Smash and Test romper, like how are you determining those price points? Because I would find that so hard.
It is hard sometimes. Like I research it, right? Like from being in retail for so many years, I kind of know what prices are.
Yeah.
Retail prices are. I do research things a lot. I will go to look at different selling apps, see what they're selling it at. I generally try to go about at least 50% off what the retail prices are for things. Some things that are vintage I can't find anything on this anymore, so I'll price it accordingly to what I think it's worth. And I mean, it's worked out for me so far. I haven't had really anybody. There's a few people that come in and say, oh, this thrift shop's really expensive. And I try to explain that it's not a thrift shop. Yeah, a consignment shop. So I'm making money, but I'm also making money for my consigners.
Yes.
So it's a complete, it's not a value village. I'm not a thrift shop. That's not what I have.
Yeah.
So it's a completely different thing, but I do a lot of research. A lot of research goes into it. So it's really time consuming.
Yeah.
It is.
Now, you know what else is also time consuming is showing up on social media and putting together the content. But Amy, you and your team do a fabulous job on that. And I can't tell you how many times I watched Forrest's reel about the undies. Oh my gosh, please remind me what they're called. Like the hoo-has. She did such a good job on the hoo-ha and like just the way that she presented it. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I watched that so many times. I think this girl has sold me on these hoo-has with just how well she put it all together. It was just so clever. She is a character. She's also real. Like when she's sharing about her doing a run or coming from the gym. Like, I feel like I know Forrest, and it's so funny because when you meet her, like in real life and stuff, like she's more quiet and reserved, but she comes alive on the camera.
She does. Yeah. She's so fun. Her market.
Yes.
Like I am so lucky. I don't like to use lucky. I'm grateful.
Yeah.
Honored. I am so happy that I don't say I have her. I don't have her.
Yeah.
But that she's part of my team.
Yeah.
Like, she is my team. It's me and her. Right. Selena's joined us, so I don't want to leave Selena out. But Forrest is incredible. Forrest knows me so well from knowing how like I'm like this, I'm like that, I'm like, oh my god, I do blah, 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 all the time. And Forrest is very Amy, get a pen and write it down. Yep. Write down what you have to do. If I make a list now, never made a list before. I made lists in my head, but now Forrest helps me write things out. Forrest is very grounding for me.
Yes, she is.
Her presence is so calming that as soon as I walk into the shop and she's there, I immediately take a breath. And I can like, okay, what do I have to do today? And she'll keep me on track and she'll remind me to do this and remind me to do that, but also helps me in every aspect of the shop. All the reels she's doing herself. She's doing the reels for me. She's doing like just so like I can't even like there's not enough words in like the English dictionary to tell you how much I love her. She is so great, and I am so grateful to have her. Like, just, it's unbelievable. I get all muffled when I talk about her because I just love her so much.
Yeah.
She's so great for me, and she's great for the brand, and she is a brand in herself. Like,
She is.
her closet is phenomenal. The clothes that she wears.
Oh, that girl
is
can
like,
wear anything, I find.
Yes,
like,
yes.
she can rock an outfit like no other.
100%.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have to give credit to Lindsay Wilson too. Lindsay Wilson actually does all my try on Thursdays, all my reels, because I am very terrible. As much as you say I'm good at social media, I'm very good at good morning, darlings, and taking videos and talking. But everything else, I'm not doing. I don't know how to put the reels together. So Lindsay does all my try on Thursdays, my wardrobe Wednesdays. I just send Lindsay all my photos.
Yep.
And then she does it and then posts it for me. So then,
But that's all you need.
I know Forrest does that too. So I'm like, I've got the right people in my corner. I really do.
And you're outsourcing correctly, Amy.
I have to. Oh my God, I can't do it all myself.
That's right, you
And
can't.
It's killing me. I was doing everything myself. I've got an accountant now too.
Good for you.
I'm about accounting. Plug them because Simon is fantastic. He like literally comes to my store to help me figure things out that I don't know. So I do. You got to do that. You got to ask for the help, pay for the help,
Yes.
and it takes a load off. It really, really does.
You have to invest in your business because it all comes back, or otherwise you're just going to burn out, and you can't do it all. Not in today's day and age. No, you can't.
You pretend to do it all and you can't.
Yeah.
And I'm like burnt out all the time.
Amy, you referenced about your good morning, darlings, and I feel like we have to bring this up because, you know, even when we were talking about our friend Jennifer.
Oh my God, Jennifer,
JRC Insurance.
Oh my God, she's a dream.
But she comes on and she says, "Good morning, beautiful people."
Yes. Good morning, beautiful people. That's
Yep.
her tagline.
Her tagline.
Amazing.
And yours is, "Good morning, my darlings." And you take your glasses and you put them on your head, most part.
I can't do that with my
No,
hair like this. Everyone told me don't put my glasses on my head. But yes, glasses go up. Good morning, darlings. But that's it. That's what I say.
That is my good morning. When I go and I scroll before I get my kids in the morning, that's the first thing I see, and I love seeing that. But that is part of your brand. Like yourself, Jennifer, Callie, and the girls at West on Main, like you guys all have something unique and different that nobody else is doing, and you're speaking to your audience, you're speaking to your customers, you're speaking to your community.
You have to.
Where did you learn that though, Amy, or does it just come naturally? Because I just find that you guys are doing something totally different, that you are attracting people, you're talking to people, and that's why Jennifer is now my go-to insurance girl. That's why, you know, I love seeing you guys at Racked, and every time I'm trying to, like, if I'm in Empire, that's where I'm shopping from.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a Rack today.
Racked outfit.
You know, yeah.
It's just, well, now it comes naturally to me to do things like this. But again, I know what my strengths are. I've at my age now know that I'm better at doing videos than I am at writing posts. So I do my morning videos. I think that it helps. As you say, people like to see my face.
Yeah.
People like to say, "Good morning, darlings," like to listen to what I'm saying. I'll talk about not only stuff that's happening in my shop, but stuff that's happening all around town. So I don't know. I like to do it because then I feel like I've done a good job for the day.
Yeah.
I do my morning videos first thing in the morning, and then we're done.
Yeah.
And then I don't have to do anything else.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like it's done by 11 o'clock, and then I'm done.
yeah. Get it done and out of the
That's
way.
it. Done and out of the way.
Now, shifting gears again, Amy, to your personal life, I want to celebrate that this coming January, you will be 4 years sober.
I sure will.
I'm so proud of you.
I know, so I'm proud of me too.
That's incredible. What a journey. But can you talk to me and my listeners about battling alcohol addiction and what that experience was like for you?
Well, it was shitty, I'll tell you that. I mean, when you're in it, you don't really realize that you're in it till you're out of it. It was, I said, I never really had a problem with drinking and drugs when I was younger. It was all older, like when I was older. After I had Christian, after I had Elora was when it got really bad. And it was a constant every day drinking wine all the time. And I can't even blame it on COVID because it was happening before COVID. Like, I'm not going to blame it on something. I mean, I have alcoholism runs in my family. It's a thing that happens to people.
Yeah.
And if you say yes to that drink one too many times, you're just going to keep doing it, right? And that's what happened to me. It happened. It became a social thing. It was, we're going to, the mommy wine juice. What's in mommy? Oh, like that blows my face off every time I hear this now. What's in mommy's cup? Mommy just needs her juice. Like, mommy's hiding in the closet drinking her wine. It's terrible. It's a terrible thing that we're showing our kids. I would have my wine at the beach in my coffee cup.
Yeah.
To the point where my kids were like, Mommy, is this water? And it was never water.
Yeah.
And then, like, you don't realize it. Well, I didn't realize it until I was out of it, until I stopped. It got so bad that I was hungover every single day. I was drinking every single day. I couldn't even go a day without drinking, like not even a day. So it would be, oh, it's 11 o'clock. I can have a mimosa. And then, oh, it's 10:45. Oh, it's only for 15 minutes. Let's just have a mimosa. So I'd start off the day with mimosas and then start drinking red wine. And, oh, I drank a bottle of red wine for dinner. It's just as good as dinner. Or red wine is so good for you. No, it's not.
Yeah.
And it was a disaster. I was a disaster. I was a functioning alcoholic. A lot of people didn't know that I had an alcohol problem. They had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
They thought I was just fun, like always alive and on, but I was drinking all the time.
Yeah.
And it just became a huge problem to where I almost lost my husband. My kids knew that I was like, I couldn't get out of bed in the morning. It was hungover to the point where it's a beautiful summer day. I promised to take them to the beach, but I can't get out of bed.
Yeah.
And my husband just took the kids and did his thing. So he was living with an alcoholic wife.
Yeah.
And trying and telling me, you got to stop. I can't do this anymore, all these things. But when you're the alcoholic, nothing's going to make you stop drinking. Not even your husband, not your wife, not your kids. You have to stop. You have to be the one to make the decision. And it's a hard thing. And I know this is something that hits really close home to you right now, but it is a really, really hard thing for you to go through as the wife of an alcoholic. My husband as the husband of an alcoholic. It has to be the alcoholic that stops.
Right.
It has to be. And it's not going to last. We're not going to, I can't do this anymore. And that would just make me want to drink more. So it came to a point where I was tired of being sick. I was tired of throwing up. I was tired of looking at my carpet in my bedroom was full of stains from me being sick, of red wine, 6 stains on my carpet. And I just got tired. I can't feel like this anymore. Every day I was hungover. Every single day. I'd wake up and I open my eyes. I'd be like, oh, fuck. How bad is my headache today? And then I'd have to get up and go to work. And I'd get up and go to work and I'd be sick and I'd be throwing up in the back because I'm so hungover. And then when you get older, it's not easy. The hangovers get harder.
Right.
And it just got to the point where I said, you know what? I'm going to die. I saw my dad go through this. My dad hasn't had a drink in 20 years, but I grew up getting my dad a beer from the fridge.
Yeah.
I grew up making my mom Caesars. And you don't realize how terrible that is that you're doing this to your kids. And people do it all. They still do it. Oh, they'll get mommy a drink from the fridge. So it's a normal thing. Oh, mommy needs a drink. Oh my God, I had such a long day. I need a drink. No, you need a bath. You need a break in a bath.
Yeah.
You don't need a drink because you drink and you think that for 1 second it's helping you, but it's really not. It's poison. And now we're learning so much more about alcohol these days, especially women's health and alcohol. It's going to kill you if you keep drinking the way it is. And I couldn't stop. I couldn't be that one glass person.
Right.
I couldn't, and I wish I could. Christ, if I could, I'd probably still be having a glass of wine every now and then. But I couldn't. I had that bottle and I had to finish it. And then the next day I'm like, oh shit, what time was the LCBO open? Is it closed on this weekend? My whole life was revolved around having drinks.
Mm-hmm.
And it just blew up in my face.
It's crazy about how much it consumes you. And Amy, when you're talking about how there were threats, but it didn't even matter when you're saying about the kids and stuff, that alcohol still came first.
Yep.
And you and I had this conversation around this time a year ago, if you remember.
I do.
And you and I had kind of dabbled a little bit because my spouse was dealing with alcoholism and still is to this day. My former spouse now. But I just could not wrap my head around the fact that like it did not matter about every threat, every anything that involved about the kids, even your husband going and taking the kids out and leaving you behind. And it still didn't matter.
No.
It still
not that
didn't
it
matter.
Didn't matter.
No.
It's that it wasn't you. Like it wasn't like
Right.
for in your situation, it's not you that have the problem. It's him that has the problem.
Right.
So for me, I had the problem.
Yeah.
So he's telling me, oh, I can't do this anymore. Like I can't live like this anymore. I was the problem, not him.
Right.
So I didn't feel like that was it not that I don't want it's hard because
I know.
relate to me, but then also to relate to you. So I'm trying to say that in your situation, it's not that you're not good enough. It's not that he doesn't want to stop drinking. He probably does want to stop drinking, but can't
Yeah.
and doesn't have the resources to help.
Yeah.
And I mean that, like, even with me, we were going to therapy, so the therapist really helped me with this. And also my girlfriends. All my girlfriends saw what was happening. They're like, Amy, guess what? We're not going to drink either. We're going to help you through this.
Yeah.
And we're not going to drink. And we're going to make sure that we're helping you do this. But being a drug addict, being an alcoholic is the person's problem. It is not their family. And as many threats as the family can give, that's not going to change
Right.
us wanting to have a drink.
Yeah.
Or wanting to do that next line or whatever the addiction is.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with you.
But that's hard. It's hard for the other party, you know, because
I'm not good enough. I'm telling you, I'm going to leave you if you don't stop drinking, but you still continue to drink.
yeah. Yeah.
It's a fucking poison.
Yeah.
It is a poisonous thing.
And it really goes hand in hand with alcoholism and mental health. Like they go hand in hand together. And I think, well, they're common co-occurring conditions. But do you ever have those days, Amy, where you think to yourself, just one sip, or if there's an opportunity for you, and your husband for some reason, or there was like a leftover bottle of wine from a party or something,
Not at all. I've maybe wanted a drink like twice since I quit drinking.
wow,
Like I realize that it does not serve me well. I
Yeah.
realize that I am a fucking lunatic when I'm drinking. I realize that I am a drunk. And I was a drunk. And people didn't see that part, but my family saw that part.
yeah,
And that
Of
that's
course.
the worst, right? And you look at my kids and I look at my kids now and I'm like, fuck, I missed so much because I was drunk.
yeah,
Right. And I'm coming. So when I'm out, I'm all fun and it's all a good thing. And then I come home and that's when it's like nonsense. And I was mean. I was mean to my husband. I was mean. Like but no, I never wanted to drink because I knew that I know that I can't.
yeah,
I know that I can't just have another drink. So now I just drink non-alcoholic drinks.
yes, and promote them, and promote them all.
They're so fun.
Yeah,
They're so fun. I never drank beer, but now I drink non-alcoholic beer. And it's just the same thing. And I mean, I'm a better person. I haven't been sick. I haven't had a headache. I feel better. I'm healthier because I want to be alive. I don't want to be that drunk mom anymore. I don't.
Amy, thank you so much for being so transparent and honest about this, because it's another conversation that women especially don't have. And I feel like I've been so fortunate in my life to have women like you who have openly shared about these things so that I can turn to somebody to say, hey, I've got someone close in my life that's struggling. How can I help them? And even when you said to me last year, and you've said it to me many times, you can't help them.
Yeah.
They can only help themselves, and the worst is going to happen. And the worst has
It's the
happened.
rock bottom, right? Yeah, I'll say that. You have to hit rock bottom. I didn't really hit rock bottom.
Right.
I mean, I wasn't cracked out on the corner somewhere, but I mean,
You hit your own rock bottom.
I had my own. Exactly. It was my own. And I'm like, you know what? I need to do something else. I need to do something else.
Yeah.
My husband and I went to therapy, and that was the game changer of everything in our relationship. Like we've never been happier. We've been married almost 20 years and we've never been happier together.
I know you can tell. You can so tell.
Yeah.
I know. Oh, Amy. Well, I'm so proud of you. And you should be so proud of yourself, because 4 years, like, and it's not easy. It's not easy.
But it is at the same time.
Yeah.
Me, like everyone has their own journey, and I don't like saying those words, but it's true. Everyone has their own things, own way to deal with this. There's some people that need programs. There's people that need to go to AA. I don't need that. I have my family. I've got my friends. I have Instagram has really helped. There's so many things on Instagram. A lot of moms, a lot of things. You can just find the resources for yourself, and that's worked for me.
Yeah.
But a lot of people have different ways to deal with it.
I think it also holds you accountable by you know, showing up on Instagram.
Yeah.
And not only that, like you showing your strength and bravery has helped so many other women, maybe who have not shared with you, but like you've obviously helped me.
I've had
you know, even just having,
asked,
yeah.
or my what are your favorite drinks, or how did you do this, or how did you do that? And I'll talk to anybody who wants to ask me a question. My God, send me a message. I'll help you.
Yeah.
I can.
But even just to have like, you know, that conversation to be like, you know, as a supportive partner, what can you do and everything. And I do want to kind of plug Pathways Drug and Alcohol Treatment Center. I think that's what it is. They're based out in Renfrew and in Pembroke. They have a center, and they offer spousal support. And I've been receiving spousal support since January, and they are fantastic there. I'm still receiving spousal support, coping strategies, how to best support your partner or somebody. There's also a Mother Safe program for moms, and I just think that there are resources out there. It's free therapy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, we can all use free therapy nowadays, right?
God.
But there are resources available. And I just want to like state to my listeners and everybody watching as well that, you know, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to reach out and get help, whether it's for yourself or to receive that support, because you're not alone out there. Yeah. And there's some great people.
There are.
Yeah.
Thanks, Holly.
Amy, what are some key lessons that you have learned being in business yourself that you're grateful to have gone through? Because as much as we sometimes hate those negative experiences that have happened, they're still the building blocks to our success later on because we've learned and we've grown from them.
Oh gosh. I've learned to just do what I want to do.
Yeah.
I feel like people are going to tell you what you should do and what is, you know, it's like that with anything in life, but I just do what I feel is right. And I've had troubles throughout the way, but I just, tomorrow's another day. That's like the best thing I can always say. My dad used to tell me that all the time. Tomorrow's another day. Like, just keep going, because you've already won all the battles that you had. Tomorrow's the next day.
Yeah.
So I just keep going.
That's
You
good
just gotta
advice.
keep going.
Yeah, that's right. I love it. And Amy, who is one local boss, babe, that continues to inspire you in your personal entrepreneurship journey that you're spotlighting today on OV Boss Babe?
There's so many, as you know. I love all my boss ladies. But I'm telling Jennifer, like, honestly, Jennifer, Desjardins Insurance, she is talking the talk, and I really appreciate that. I like people that tell me what I need to know.
Yes.
In her post, and she'll tell you, and she's bright, and she's beautiful, and she's kind, and I think that she's really doing good for the community. She's trying to do so much for everybody, and I just think she's an all-around great gal, and I just think that everyone should go to her for that.
Yes, they should. And insurance is not boring.
No, it's not.
And she makes it fun.
She makes it super fun.
Yes, she does.
Very important to have insurance.
You need a fun and bubbly person like Jennifer to, you know, come alive and get you signed up for insurance.
Yeah. I know nothing about this, but this is what I want, and feel comfortable talking to her as a woman to woman. She's fantastic.
Yeah.
So that's one.
Well, Amy, thank you so much again for being a part of OV Boss Babes. And
Anytime.
here's to many more years in business.
know.
Keep killing it. And everybody trust Amy.
Oh my God. Hashtag it.